We are Ghost Paranormal, a team of paranormal investigators from different walks of life. We have our own lives and our own families. We all have had our own personal experiences with the paranormal. We come together to find out what makes the doors open and close on their own. We come together to find out what makes the hair stand up in the back of your neck. We come together for one specific purpose: to hunt the unknown truth. Hales Dam was built on land that was originally Cherokee territory. When the white man came through, they started to take their holdings and their lands dwindled down to almost nothing. During the Treaty of Sycamore Shoals on March 17, 1775, Cherokee leaders Doublehead and Dragon Canoe, among others, cursed the land, vowing to turn the land dark and bloody if anyone attempted to settle there. Construction of the dam began in 1905 when the Chattanooga and Tennessee River and Power Company began to build this hydroelectric dam, which was completed in 1913. The dam was to be one of the first multi-purpose dams in the U.S. When the dam was built, it flooded everything which stood below the dam. Although the extent of the structures which were flooded is unclear, there is a known graveyard standing under the water from which none of the graves were relocated before the flood. Ironically, if you consider the curse, leaks began to show up almost immediately after the dam was built, and it was in constant state of repair. Tennessee Valley Authority took over the dam in 1939, but after spending 20 years repairing leaks and damages, they decided it was just too expensive to continue to repair the failing dam. There were at least 2 killings that occurred at the dam, and countless other things have been kept in its coffers. Today, the dam sits empty and abandoned. Or is it?
Trying to make sure we get everybody we need. All right. I'm going to start at one end of this. They take that door. How about this side? You must buy one. There's already all locked off now. This used to be the area they used to call the Fat Man's Door because it was done so close together. The passage was that you couldn't be a big guy and get through.
You had to go sideways.
I had to go sideways to get through it, but and you're going to hear a lot of echo in this hallway too. But there is a lot of asbestos when you go through that doorway, and that area up above is loaded with asbestos. So for safety reasons, the company running this establishment now has boarded off that entrance, but frankly, there's been a lot of stuff that happens enough right here that we don't have to go that way. We're going to start down here at the end of the tunnels and work our way through the building, so stay with us through this. Nice. This area has been reputed, proven by us in several investigations, as being very active. Snapshots of apparitions have been taken in here, shadow people, a lot of disembodied voices we've caught here before, hopefully this time around as well. And of course the acoustics, thank you. Of course the acoustics are incredible. So I don't want to spin before I get hurt. What are we doing here? What is this?
It's just a thing that comes down, I don't know.
It never used to be like that. Okay.
I guess we have to walk around that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Maybe where it gets a little different.
Yeah, watch out for your side.
I'll watch the left side.
And the big.
Sorry.
Well, there's the table.
Yeah. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to start here.
You're fine. I was wanting to get a grasp of what we're doing.
They've got this set up for tours. They do tours in here.
There's toys set over here.
Yeah. There's toys set up over here that I think probably even now the team that runs the tours in here now and people previously, they used to call this area Mary's Corner or Mary's portion of the tunnel because they feel that they've had some communication with children in here. Well, Mark, our medium, and everybody with us fully in agreement. You call out for children, there's going to be children here. They will do whatever they need to be able to get your attention. And they put the toys here because the theory was they would give the children something to be able to play with. And you know, so they've got that set up. Back when this was a dam, and the dam ran all the way through the other side, the children used to actually go under the lake to be able to go to school because their parents worked here. So the theory about children traversing this area here, you know, they come over with people that are here to do investigations. When they can sense people that are here that they can communicate with, they're going to come. You're probably going to hear some of them tonight because between Mark and a few other people on the team, there's going to be reasons for them to want to talk. But this has always been for us a pretty active EVP area for us before, so hopefully this time. Are you getting anything here? No, I know you said originally the tunnels really weren't.
Really right now the tunnel does not feel very active to me.
No, okay.
Now there will be, I feel like it's more, the meat and potatoes is more in the building at the moment.
Okay,
So,
well, we're going to make our way there.
Yeah, right now here, no.
As Tommy's throwing stuff at me now.
That's the fourth time, hopefully I just dropped it. Actually, it was PK. Really?
Now there are more, there are adult energies that are around in here.
Okay.
But there are no children at the moment.
But there was claims in here, and there's been claims been made in here, I actually haven't been able to see, except for one time in a photo, but of a man that has been seen by the living in this tunnelway exiting constantly. It's almost residual based on the claims I've heard because he's going and he's coming and he's going and he's coming.
Shower
So,
seems to take the same path.
yeah.
Yeah.
Now this place has got some personal significance to me. My aunt by marriage actually used to play Billy Joe's aunt would actually play in these tunnels as a kid when her father worked here, back when he worked for the TVA. So there is some connection here with our family. So we've always felt the job to be able to do this place correctly for the viewing public. So, but this is kind of the end of the tunnel. So again, you're saying the majority of what you're feeling is in the main building.
Which they have cleaned this
So-
place up really nice. I do
They
like
have,
that.
they really, really have. And again, they're gonna have a tour in here tonight, so we're gonna be, next time you see us on film after this walkthrough, it's gonna be at night because they have a tour coming through before we actually do our investigation. So, but now we're gonna take you into the control room area, all the way up to the third floor and start our way down from there, just to be able to give you a sense of what's going in through the building during the daytime, so stay with us.
This is Richard.
Oh! Incoming.
This is where the Darby,
Oh, okay.
right here. And I don't know what that is over there. There is a staircase. But this
I don't
is where
believe he's gonna get in there.
you can't.
No, there's no.
I like this room.
But this is where the really intimidating energy.
No.
This is where he lives.
I know.
And
This is where I had a guy
yeah,
who opened this door up
yeah.
after I told him not to. And when he opened this door up, a dark mass came running through. He was here, and got shoved off the steps, 6 feet across on his shoulders.
And there was nothing from here down. It was
Dirt from here up.
Now see where we have dirty stairs, dark mass.
Oh,
But I'll show you where it originates,
Okay.
which is over in a room over.
This room, every time I come into it, it happen again now. It's like I hit a wall. Does that make sense?
Well, that's because it is a wall.
I mean, I literally got here and just went, whew.
Yeah. Well, when you see the dark mass, that is what that is. And so it is a wall that that goes through these concrete walls. But it's its own moving dimensional thing. It goes over about this far.
Yeah.
About this doorway.
This place in here, a lot of water, a lot of slippery limestone, so watch the step. Okay. This area, here, and here, is where I get most stuff we got up here. What do you think, Mark?
I think it's when the energy is activated because of the whirlpool, that when the energy is beginning to disperse out, you feel that in your stomach.
Yeah, I'm feeling for
It's leftover energy that ends up in these corners because it's just dying down. So, but you get the darker, crappier
The feeling in the corner.
leftover, and that makes you
Okay.
nauseous. You know when that's what I'm feeling, nauseous. It's because of the edge of the energy that's creeping out.
Okay.
Now, the one time we were in here, I put a digital recorder on that platform,
Yeah.
static.
Yeah.
We went downstairs and investigated tunnels.
Yeah.
I come back 2 hours later, picked it up and play it backwards. Play back, not backwards. Play it back. I've got a little boy voice that walks over to him and goes, "Who's this?" And then he says, basically, if you close your eyes and you just, you try to put it in, you remember this kid. It was sounding like he was sitting on the floor in Indian position. Just, it was creepy. No. No.
Not today.
Floor it's on?
I think it's on the second floor.
Now, this floor, no. On this floor, though, there have been apparitions seen. Supposedly, I haven't had it happen to me, and we'll see. Supposedly, an apparition comes out of here and actually will physically chase you out of this room if you're by yourself.
A
But then again,
previous
if
member
you're
of our
walking by
team said it
yourself,
happened.
huh?
One of the members that used to be a part of our team said it happened to him.
Yeah.
It chased him.
And
He
this
felt like
also
it was chasing
happened.
him
This
out.
is where Mark, another guy, was on our team.
That's what I'm talking about.
I actually had to pull him out of the building because he was getting choked out.
This one.
He felt like hands around his throat, and he was getting choked out, and he couldn't really catch his breath. And I'm actually having to track him.
I'm talking about the same
That's a
member.
donut, yeah.
And another time he had to run out of here.
Yeah,
But it did seem easy to victim.
well, and you get a lot of derelict energy up here because it just gets flung out of the vortex kind of energy that's going around like this.
Is that the whirlpool? Is the whirlpool a portal?
Well, it's that now. Sort of.
Okay.
Like Mark said that. Well, yeah.
Well, yeah. So,
absolutely.
is it a timely thing? Is it an issue where it's a vortex time? Certain times they engage that vortex?
I think in different seasons it's different. It responds
And when the water changes.
when the water changes, when the
Stomach and I are not our best friends.
veil is thin.
Not my best friend. Watch limestone, it's real slippery.
Really, the best stuff I feel right now pretty much is here. It's the Derby guy.
Oh, is this?
Derby, yeah, the one with the stair.
Oh, okay.
And Derby, that one up here, he's kind of like the watcher up here.
The watcher.
Watch it over.
This next section.
And he keeps people out because, keep them from getting hurt.
Okay. So he's going to do it for their own good.
Yeah.
He's
But you're
getting
taking
people out of
it
here for their own good.
But when that energy
This is where.
And then I used to come back in the corner and it was here.
Yeah.
This just pretty much gets whatever dead flow. The
kind of-
leftover, it's just a trap for dead energy.
Right.
So as it's disintegrating and you get
I just
activity-
always used to wonder why I was attracted to
Because
this
it's
room.
like, it catches the end of the dead flow.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Whoever it was wanted to talk.
Yeah.
Now,
What they call the first.
this area here is where I've had the entity twice, 2 different occasions, roll up to my microphone when I said in the power of Christ, I command you to leave now. Roll up to my microphone, went, oh, pow. And then he just backs off. And he's done that twice on 2 separate occasions.
Well, because it doesn't have the same belief system.
Oh, I understand that. But it's a little disconcerting nonetheless.
He just doesn't believe what you believe.
No.
That's okay. What I believe in is going to protect me, so I'm not that
It'll
worried about it.
protect you, but it doesn't, but
Has
it
nothing to
doesn't
him.
affect him because it's not.
He just likes to say it just to kind of say it's
To freak you out.
whatever.
Yeah.
Well, good
Which
job.
It works.
He's done
It
it.
works. You know, that's why they do it.
So,
Now, Rich was asking earlier, is the same entity that's over here, over there?
I have to wait until I get over there to be able to see. Now, Sarah talks about her husband Thomas up here. So,
Okay.
and I don't know if Foster is the married name, but if it is, then it would be Thomas Foster or Thomas might be the last name.
no.
But he's pretty much in the crow's nest. This is where they could look out and watch everything. So it's supervisors.
Okay.
So kind of the big ones stood up.
The bigger people more in charge who are watching everything right here. Down there with the working bees
your
are
wall?
down there. Working bees.
Oh, that's not my wall. I know exactly where my wall is.
Now this area, right here,
My wall is right here.
we we lovingly call this Billy Joe's wall because when she was filming our show once,
I had a camera in my hands.
had a camera hands actually about the same amount of distance she was at before, and literally felt this, and just called the damn bitch.
My feet never
So
moved.
never moved. I saw her go backward, so it wasn't as if she was swaying or anything. Literally just, you said it felt like somebody just
Oh,
shoved you
yeah,
up against the wall.
it felt like something pushed me,
And then got called the damn bitch.
which I didn't hear with my ears.
No, we played back DVPs and saw it. Actually, it's on our website.
There's time
so-
for everything. Never
that's
been
on our
called that before
website.
by,
But this whole area up here, for some reason, has always been an active little spot. So,
And the funny thing is I said, well, maybe we should move. Just before that, I said maybe we should move because nothing here wants to talk to us anyway.
yeah.
So it's being a little bit of a smart butt, and
Yeah.
then it shut.
Well, it gave you
Give you reason.
information, but yeah, you'll get called things like that sometimes in investigations because spirits are people, and like you can have people who are just jerks, you know,
And
I always had the
and they're
belief-
dead, but they're still jerks.
I've had the belief that whatever you are in life, you're personified in death.
Yeah, it's a little bit more intense, and if they were a
Yeah.
jerk, then
Well,
they're
that
still a
I
jerk.
think this place in particular, the different people that come in here always have different things happen to them,
Yeah,
Yeah.
depending on even your mood when you come in.
yeah, when you come in, and but you know, I mean, there's the flow here used to go all the way up there, and da 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 da. But this is, you know, for people in charge, you're not supposed to be up here if you're not in charge.
Well, if there's any place in this entire building that has ever given me the creep factor, it's this area here.
Okay,
See, mine is.
I don't know why, but
but it's because
Really?
you're not supposed to be up here.
Well, even after being shoved against the wall here, this is not the spot that bothers me.
It's
It's
that
over
far
there.
back.
well, let's go there. Let's just do that. That was our intention anyway. Before the daylight runs out, let's go take a look at it.
Let's go look.
Mark and I are doing an automatic writing session. This might look a little odd, but you'll understand in a few minutes.
Alright. What I'm going to do is Billy Joe is going to be asking me questions when I'll tell her information, and then she can ask me questions off of that later. But automatic writing is a technique that really, during the early part of spiritualism, that people came up with to contact the spirit world. And really what you do is you don't look at the paper while you're writing. You just allow your system to take over automatically, and you're not in control. You try not to get in control of what's being put down, and as you're going, this kind of keeps your body occupied while your mind is working separately. So it helps separate the control that you would normally have. So what we're going to do is, in a minute, I'm going to just start by speaking to the spirits that are here and asking questions and see if I contact anyone. And if I do, see if we can get any new information. And the spirits that are here that I think I can probably talk to the easiest maybe would be Sarah Foster, Marva, who is, her husband worked here, but he was killed near here. And she still feels very strongly about trying to get that point across, because I think in their time period, he was a African American, and so at the time he was killed, they didn't get a lot of recognition of. Sometimes crimes and things happen without recognition of who the victim was. So I think she'll talk, and we'll just start off with Sarah or Marva. And what I begin to do, of course it's kind of unusual with all this, the light and everything going, so it's gonna take me a minute, but what I'm gonna do is I've got a specific kind of pen that's got a good flow to it, and I'm going to let my arm just kind of do its own thing until I'm ready to write. And then when I'm writing, it is going to be automatic. It's going to be something separate than me sitting here going, Sarah. It will be automatic. So let's go from there. I'm going to start with Marva, since she has an issue. Spirit, speak. I'm calling to Marva Stimson. And what I'm doing, I will call to the spirits and see if they will speak to me. And then when she begins to speak to me, then it will begin the writing process. Coming. I have contact with Marva Stimson. What was your husband's name? They called him T. Doe. T. Doe. He had several nicknames, but his most well-known nickname was Stovepipe. He was killed near submerged track 1909.
Martha. Restitution. No restitution. He is buried off of Rose Street, R-O-W-E, Tunnel Boulevard. Stone, too poor to a headstone. No institution. You want to ask any questions?
You said that he didn't have a headstone?
No headstone.
Did someone hurt him on purpose?
Yes. 3 men. White.
Did they have a reason?
Yes.
What was the reason?
Uppity.
Do you mean they thought they were better than him?
Yes. He did not fall into place.
So did he live near here? Or did he work here?
He worked here, around this area, and in the number I'm getting, 1909, I don't know. I think he was killed later than that, so I don't know why I'm getting 1909.
Was he born in 1909?
Hmm?
Could he have been born in 1909?
No, he was older because he died 34, age 34. Two boys, wife, Marta. Did the man who killed him work here? No. They were part of the KKK.
So they were never prosecuted or held accountable?
No.
Whatever happened to Marva?
Moved. Birmingham.
What about his children?
One died. Influenza. Other lived until late 20s. Shot.
He was shot?
Shot.
Do you know why?
Bar. Fight.
Is that why she was here? She wanted someone to know her story?
Yes. No restitution.
Does she feel better now that someone knows?
Yes.
Does she have anything else she wants to say?
No. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Margaret.
Charles Burton. He was killed at Brownsbury Tavern. His wagon was dumped in the river. They stole his horse. His 2 horses.
Is that why they killed him?
He had cash.
And his horses.
His horses, and he was a peddler. Charles Burton. And they dumped his wagon. They dumped his body in the river. No one completely found his body.
What do you mean completely?
Parts. They found torso, one arm, no head.
Was it years later?
Repeat the question.
Was it years later they found his torso?
No. Months. 3 months. They didn't know who it was. He still was unidentified because he was a peddler.
Is that why he's here?
He's parts of him flowed downriver a little further, and then it was attracted to here eventually.
Is he another one that wanted his story known and that's why he's here?
No.
So why is he here?
Wander. Wants to wander.
So he just wants to hang out.
He is lost. He feels the pull from here. It pulls him
energy source?
Yeah. C and several others. Pulled by the tide.
So he's just here for the energy.
No.
Pulls him. It pulls him here.
Pulls. Doesn't know how to get back to where he came from.
Where did he come from?
He came from Abington. Carolina. He traveled around here. No family.
So is there something in particular he wants us to know?
He's here because we're here. The larger whirlpool that was called the suck was, he remembers that, but he remembers. But this one it pulls in here. When it is going Diosil, he is released. When it is going Wintershin, he is pulled. No release. No release.
So he can't get away?
No. When the whirlpool goes into Diosa, he can get away. When the whirlpool goes Wintershin, he's pulled in. I don't think he wants to talk anymore. So we'll see who else is here. Because of course with us being here, we attract the spirits here. Beasley, Foster, her husband Thomas was important here. Too much work. They killed him with too much.
So she feels they worked him to death.
Yes.
What did he do here?
She said the crow's nest.
So he was a supervisor?
Yeah. More. When you said supervisor, it's something else. I don't know, but I don't know what to call it. He was just under the supervisor a little bit. He dealt with things that went across this way. What would that be?
Crane.
Crane. Operator. And early electrician. Because a lot of people didn't have their electricity until really the 30s. So he was an early electrician.
When did he die?
Marrying 22.
How?
22, I'm hearing 22 and I'm hearing 26. I think he had a heart attack in 22 and then finally succumbed in 26. But he was debilitated.
Did they have kids?
No.
What did she do
Housewife.
after he died?
Sewer. She began sewing for seamstress. There really wasn't any insurance money to speak of. Died fairly poor.
So she never remarried.
No, I don't think so.
Is there anything she wants us to know?
She used to come here to voice her dismay at her husband being worked so hard. And when we're here, that's what she's coming to do, is to let us know that she existed, she was here, she spoke out for him and against the hard work ethic.
She wants us to know that her husband worked hard.
Yes. But that he died because he was overworked, and they knew it. Good. Fine.
Goodbye, Sarah.
Now there's a child that came. I did, as I talked about earlier today, I don't believe there are just children ingrained here, but because of psychic work and all that, sometimes when that's going on, it does draw the children from across from other places. And then, of course, we just found out today there's a cemetery right up here. So, but there's a little girl, her mother was Martha Talbert. I'm trying to hear what her name is. She would be right about when she appears. She's here. Probably a early 1900s white embroidered dress with a big sash and a bow. Little blonde girl. I think she may have died in the influenza, but I'm not sure.
About how old was she?
7 going on 8. Their homestead is underwater. I think she's named after her mother. But she is called here because people call her children. She is not married. She is not in the tunnel. She doesn't like the tunnel.
Is there a reason she doesn't like the tunnel?
Dirty.
Dirty like dirty from spirits, or dirty like dirty dirty?
Dirty, dirty.
Does she know Mary?
No. The people call for me. And then after they wind down, then it goes from autonomy to base autonomy. Autonomy. Before Native Americans, yeah. Do you have any questions?
What did they do here on the property?
Travel. They traveled the water's edge. They built stone forts. they travel almost yearly to come here, not here, but further down to go to a sacred space. So they travel the waterways. And they consider the whirlpool sacred. So.
Do they die anywhere here?
No.
No.
They
Are they here?
died. They died away from here.
Are they here because of the sacred pool?
Yeah, they return here because they return to the sacred spots. This is not exactly a sacred spot, but it is somewhere that is a strong energy, so it pulls them. And if you find out where the word attune comes from, you can find out where they come from. And what they're trying to do is balance the energy. So when they come up chanting, they're trying to balance the energy and send the ill spirits on into the eternal summer.
So they come here and try to balance the energy?
They try to balance the energy, but they can't. But they do balance some of it. They try to right it. It's illness.
Did you say illness?
Illness. The spirits here are not, it's not exactly a healthy thing, and they try to release the spirit.
Your pen's dead, Mark. Your pen is dead.
And I feel like we're almost, when we've gotten to the layer that they're at the base area. They're trying to cleanse the area, but they can't quite do it. So they come and do it when they can.
Like some of the spirits are too dirty, too
Ill.
ill.
They should be going to the land of summer instead of here. And they consider that a white man's problem.
So they're prior to the Native Americans.
Yes. Or pre-Native Americans who were here in this section. They are paler. Any more questions?
Is there anything that we can do?
No. Because to really release spirits that have been here for as long as some of these spirits, we would have to do a demolition derby. And those spirits don't understand what these other spirits are attracted here, because I mean it's something from their lifetime.
Different eras, kind of.
Yeah. And it was before they were before this was here, so they don't understand. But they want to heal the land because they like the sacred areas that are near here.
So it's kind of like the spirits are at conflict with each other.
Yes. They try to heal and send on, and then the ones that have unresolved issues don't move on.
Is there anyone else?
Yes, but I don't know if they'll come through. They seem like they're a little further distance. I think of the ones we talked to have been the most pushiest ones.
The other ones aren't so eager.
No. No. They're just little lost energies that just, when they wander where they want to, but when the energy's right and the water's right and everything's right, it pulls them here. I think we've gotten as many as we're going to get for right now. So,
Goodbye.
there's still someone trying to talk a little. I think there was someone else trying to speak to come through, but they really don't need to come through.
Okay.
So, I thank the spirits for coming, and for communicating. Go in peace, go in peace, go in peace. So, I'm going to say that we're going to draw an end to this session, because I think we've talked to as many of them that want to talk or can talk.
Thank you. I hope that enlightened you guys on what automatic writing is. It's really interesting, and you can get a lot of information, and then later we go back and we try to confirm and prove to see what we've found.
You know, try and find the names, try and find the validity. So you never know what happens when it comes through, but it's turned out to be fairly.
It's useful.
It's interesting. It brings information that you normally wouldn't be able to get.
No, not at all. At first, it's weird to look at.
It's weird.
It's interesting.
But it is. I mean, like I said, it's one way to keep your body busy while you're doing the other energy work, the spirit work. So, but thank you for coming, Sophie.
No problem.